Roger, 88 Mike.
Number 17 November, wind 060 at Niner. Runway 30 full length. Clear for takeoff.
17 November, Roger.
So here we are at the ball turret, and the ball turret is the #1 question generator on this airplane, and it's also got a couple of the most significant misconceptions about the B-17 in combat. The B-17 ball turret is fixed. It does not retract. It rotates and pitches, but it doesn't retract into the airplane. Other airplanes did have a retractable ball turret. Misconception number 2, regarding the crew member. He did not start and end his flight in the ball turret. If you look at this hatch here, and opposite it are the barrels, after takeoff he'd point the barrels straight down. That would put this hatch in the airplane. And then he would open this hatch, step in, crawl in, and close his hatch behind him, hook up his oxygen, put on his mask, and get ready to go to work. So once he was in the hatch and the airplane is airborne, he can rotate around 360 degrees of rotation and pitch through nearly 180 degrees of pitch. After the mission, before landing, he'd reverse the process. He'd point the barrels down, open the hatch, crawl out into the airplane, and then point the barrels aft and pitched up so that they wouldn't hit on landing. If he had to bail out, he has to get into the airplane. Although it seems like he could open the hatch and fall out, that's the case, except he doesn't have his parachute. The parachute, because there's no room for it to be in the ball with him, is in the airplane. So he's got the harness on, but he needs to get back into the airplane, clip on his parachute, and then he'd go out the waist door or the bomb bay if they were open. It doesn't have to be the smallest guy on a crew. It might be helpful, but it's not necessary. And in fact, every year in Ashland, North Carolina, we meet a 6-foot-tall ball turret gunner, and it's a matter of being able to fit in there and deal with the issues that are specific to the ball turret. One thing that crews suffered was a vertigo, and then as a result of that, oftentimes air sickness in this crew position, because once you're there, you are seemingly disconnected from the airplane. You don't have a significant connection to the airplane. You don't see it, and in fact, knowing where to train your guns is not a guessing game. There's a device in here that looks like a clock. We'll see it right up here, and it's got 1 through 12 o'clock and a depiction of an airplane and the barrels. And so when he rotates that device keeps up, and you can see, for instance, right now he's shooting at 8:30, and I'll rotate this way and it's going to 8 o'clock. So if fighters are called out at 8 o'clock, he rotates to that position, and he is pointing 8 o'clock. Otherwise he doesn't know where he is in relation to the airplane. If you swing this through the full 360 degrees, you'll see that the guns, when they're at their highest position and as they arc forward, you could shoot the propellers. And that would be a significant degradation in performance, so they have a fire interrupter that keeps the guns from firing as it goes through that arc. Same can't be said for other guns on the airplane. If you look at the waist guns, which didn't have any fire limiters, they can shoot the tail and the wingtips. But that's not going to doom the airplane. That's not going to be a serious performance degradation. The crew position in here is feet up on either side of the bulletproof round glass, and then angled round feet. This is the seat bottom, so this is what he's sitting on, and his back comes up here with his head right here looking through the sighting device. A ball turret gunner needs to know, just like any aerial combat needed to know, aircraft silhouettes to determine what aircraft is coming at them. And based on their knowledge of silhouettes, they also knew the wingspans of the attacking aircraft. They'd set in a wingspan on the sight, and they'd adjust the sight with their feet, and when the sighting device bracketed the wingspan of the aircraft, then it was time to shoot the aircraft. And it was so it was a compensated sight. It was an accurate sight. He had charging. There's red handles that go to the guns, or that's for charging the guns to get them ready to fire. It's a very tight position, but it's a very safe position in some regards. This is all armor plated. It's steel. The glass, the big piece of glass anyway, is bulletproof glass. That's not the case for these side panels. So the B-17 ball turret gunner was not the highest loss rate crew position in the overall war and losses at crew positions. In fact, that distinction goes to the waist gunners, and that makes sense. They're far more exposed. They're standing nearly upright, and they're exposed both front and back. There is some armor plating around them, but not covering all the way around. So he was a smaller profile, and he had some armor plating in various places around him. So he was not necessarily the highest losses.